Hello, my name is Eddie Smith, and I'm chairperson of a local community group called Umeras Community Development. The purpose of this video is to present a summary of the strategic plan and feasibility study for the Omris Peatlands Park. Now, Omris Community Development is a community group based between Monasterevin and Rathangan, which was formed in 2019 to promote Omris Bog as a nature tourism project. So it's a voluntary organisation, and all the work undertaken by the committee has been voluntary. And the objective of Omris Peatlands Park is to create a community project, which is a not-for-profit project for the benefit of the communities of Monasterevin and Rathangan. Note that there are two spellings of Omris, one with two M's, but the local spelling is Umeras. So we're made up of a core committee of local people, including myself, Bernie Duffy, a local farmer, Liam Murphy, a chartered accountant, and Kate Scully, a business graduate. We went out to local communities and raised €8,800 on a GoFundMe to co-fund our strategic plan, and €6,000 from local councillors. We've also had support from TDs and senators. We have a Facebook page and a website that you can see there. And we also prepared a project leaflet, which we delivered to 500 households in the area. So, you know, Omris Bog is a former Bord-na-Mona peatworks. And this is some drone imagery I took last summer. And you can see here that there's a wide entrance, which is off the Quinsborough Road outside Monasterevin. So this is the public road, and only vehicle access there will be to the park. Here we have an industrial shed, which is used by Bord-na-Mona to service their equipment. Here you can see a peat tipper station. So these trains brought peat from the bog, and it was then transported to the Edenderry Power Station. So you can see the brown area is the industrial peat. And then over here, you can see the Quilcha forestry with internal roads that leads down towards the Blue Way, and the Blue Way is along here. So the Quilcha forest fringes the bog on this side, and here we have 40 acres of intact raised bog. Over there, you can see the community turf banks and the Omris Bog Road. The Clonbreen Road is on this side, and as you can see in this video last summer, all the drains are still intact, and there's a drier area here and more raised bog. And then on the far side of the road from the Bord-na-Mona entrance, you can see the Figgle River here, which is part of the Barrow special area of conservation. You can see Derrylee Bog in the distance, and Monasterevin is over here. So Omris Community Development, apart from the core group, we have a wider advisory group, including Sean Kane on social history. Then on biodiversity, we have the local Umeras Conservation Group led by Rory Finnegan. We have support from the Irish Peatland Conservation Council, Birdwatch Kildare, and Butterfly Conservation Ireland. The Kildare County Development Plan recommends that the council support Omris Peatlands Park as an initiative. And we've had great support from Fáilte Kildare and the Kildare Laois and Offaly Heritage and Arts Officers. Omris Community Development is also a partner in FarmPeat, which is a European innovation partnership to provide payments to farmers in the Midlands for conservation measures. So our community group, Omris Community Development, secured funding from County Kildare Leader Partnership and the National Just Transition Fund for 3 studies. For Tourism Development International to develop a strategic plan and feasibility study for Omris Peatlands Park, for Dermot Foley Landscape Architects to design the park, and for FIRS Ecological Consultants to develop a biodiversity assessment and plan for the park. A full presentation can be downloaded at the link, which I'll paste in the comments section. So just to say, Omris Bog is this tiny bog here on this map, compared to the much larger bogs that you can see here that are owned by Bord-na-Mona. So Omris Bog is only 300 hectares in size, which is about 800 acres, compared to 80,000 hectares of land owned by Bord-na-Mona. Bord-na-Mona ceased industrial peat harvesting on the bog in 2019 and had no fixed strategic use for the bog. So there was an opportunity to develop a nature tourism project there. The existing infrastructure, as you saw from the drone video, includes an industrial shed, toilets, canteen, parking. So there already is a lot of physical infrastructure available for visitor facilities. So Omris Bog is partly in County Offaly, the top part of it. The bottom part of it is in County Kildare, and County Laois is just here 1 kilometre away. The bog is about 1 kilometre from the Blueway at Omris Bridge, about 7 minutes from Monastrevin train station, about 12 minutes from Junction 14 on the M7, and about 18 minutes from the Kildare Village outlet. It's located between the Grand Canal NHA here and the Barrow Special Area of Conservation floodplain, which runs into the Barrow here just north of Monastrevin. And as I said, there's Quilcha forestry on the boundary with good roads, which we hope to expand the attraction into the Quilcha forest. Omris is a place of history and spirituality and has important links to St. Bridget and Gerard Manley Hopkins. There is an authentic tradition which states that near this place, St. Bridget was born, and there is a shrine at Mountrise Crossroads to commemorate her birthplace. Gerard Manley Hopkins was also a frequent visitor to Monastrevin and wrote some poetry near the bog. So Bord na Móna is currently implementing a rehabilitation plan for Omris Bog as part of the Peatlands Climate Action Scheme, the PCAS scheme. And in their rehabilitation plan, and you can see this is a map of the rehabilitation here, Bord na Móna indicate that the long-term amenity aspects for Omris Bog could include walking and cycleways on the bog, as well as lakes, a bog railway, and a visitor centre. So this is a more recent drone video of the bog. And here you can see that formerly this was all drains, like over here. But now Bord na Móna have been working very hard over the summer, and the good weather has been kind to them. And they have rehabilitated the bog, blocked the internal drains, and created these rectangular cells. So this is a bank surrounding a flattened area. And the idea is that, you know, about 10 inches of water will settle in these ponds, and this will allow the bog moss, the sphagnum mosses, to regenerate over time and to lock in carbon. And this will create an amazing habitat for biodiversity, because you will get all kinds of plants, insects, birds, and animals moving into these areas as the bog regenerates, which it should do quite quickly. So just to give you an idea of what a regenerated bog might look like and what Omris Bog might look like in the future. So here's some video I took during the summer from part of the bog. And if you listen closely, you'll hear the cuckoo on the bog. So I don't think there's a more peaceful place in County Kildare than Omris Bog. It really is the furthest away from roads and urban areas. It's very, very peaceful. And it's just good for the soul and for the head to go out there and clear your head walking around this bog. So it'll be a fantastic attraction for people. So FIRS ecological consultants have undertaken a biodiversity assessment of the bog, and this is currently underway. And it's not just industrial peat that's there, but there are also, as I've said before, bog woodland and raised bog and Molinia grassland around the bog as well. So important bird species have been recorded on and beside Omris Bog. This is a picture I took earlier in the year of a curlew, one of 7 recorded beside Omris Bog this year. And this is the greatest concentration of curlew in the east of Ireland. And you can see that the National Parks and Wildlife Service has a curlew conservation programme with a dedicated project officer for the east of Ireland. And you can see this is the only site, the only area in the east of Ireland. So it's very, very important for curlews, which are now down to 50 or 60 pairs in the whole country. Other very rare birds that have been recorded on the bog, and these are pictures I took, and this is a picture I took last year of a hen harrier, which is one of the rarest hawks in Ireland, and it overwinters on the bog. Other birds this is a lapwing, which is Ireland's national bird, which was breeding on the bog this year. And also this little bird here is called a ring plover, and it successfully fledged 2 chicks on the bog this year. So it's successfully bred on the bog. And this is a kingfisher, which is nesting on the edge of the bog there. So Tourism Development Ireland, in their strategic and feasibility plan, have recommended that Omris Peatlands Park be developed in 3 phases. Phase 1 would be the initial creation phase, and it wouldn't involve that much work. Really, it's the creation of public access with an expansion of the existing car parking, with walking and cycling infrastructure and visitor information. Phase 2 then would be an extension phase and an intensification of facilities on site and a direct link to the Blueway. And phase 3 would be a maturation phase, which would be a significant move into visitor welcome and visitor servicing facilities. So currently in the bog, Dermot Foley landscape architects have been looking at, how to design the Peatlands Park, and they have noted that there's already considerable industrial heritage and social history at the site which should be retained. So, for example, these peat wagons could be repurposed as shelters around the bog and for exhibition spaces. The industrial shed could be used as an artist workshop, and this is the old peat harvesting equipment which could be put on display to tell the story of Bordnamona at Omris Bog. So it's really critical that all of these old machines, the railway track on the bog, the peat tipper station and everything are retained so that they can tell the story of Bordnamona at Omris Bog. So the first phase, which Tourism Development Ireland have proposed, is that there would just be an expansion of car parking here and a 2.5 kilometre walkway around just this side of the bog, on the western side of the bog. Then an extension phase would be to link Omris Peatlands Park to the Blueway. So there are a number of options for doing this. There's more than one option. One option is via the Omris Bog Road. Now, there's been some discussion about the right to use the Omris Bog Road, but we've had a solicitor clarify that this bog, the community turf banks, were actually awarded to the local people by the Land Commission. So all of these turf banks here are Land Commission turf banks, and the road is owned by Waterways Ireland at this section, and then all of the bog owners. And there is a Land Commission right-of-way over Omris Bog Road for every purpose. So you can see in the yellow, that's the Land Commission right-of-way. Now, all of the community, including turf cutters, local landowners, and walkers and cyclists, have an equal right to use the road. The idea for Omris Peatlands Park connection would be that only walkers and cyclists would use the road in addition to the people who are harvesting their turf and the farmers who are bringing their cows down to the pasture here. So that would have to be designed safely. Phase 3 would be a maturation phase with more visitor facilities. And then perhaps another option for linking to the Blueway could be down through using the Quilter Forest roads across some private farmers' land to a new bridge over the canal. That would be along here. Now, that would be obviously pending agreement with the landowners there, the private landowners or forestry owners. So this is just for illustrative purposes, but just to say that there are a number of options for linking Omris Peatlands Park to the Blueway. Dermot Foley Landscape Architects have come up with some initial design ideas. So you can see here an expansion of the car parking facilities at the entrance. The peat tipper station that you can see here, here's a before picture and an after picture where the area is used for introductory information, bike tracks and other facilities. And you can see the path going out here onto the bog. And the idea is that at the bog, where you first see the bog, there is a boardwalk, and maybe there are some peat wagons there where people can sit and shelter and drink coffees, and there's a coffee dock. So this is the sort of initial creation phase. And the design architects have also come up with ideas for using the workshop as an artist in residence workshop, for local community like a men's shed or women's shed, various other initiatives. FAIR's ecological consultants have also recommended that the bog would be ideal for environmental education, similar to other projects like the Abbey Leaks bog project. And our community group has really been inspired by the work done at Abbey Leaks. So the Abbey Leaks bog project is an open access amenity developed by volunteers to benefit all. And the local community participate actively in surveys and in developing the bog as a sustainable amenity for both local residents and visitors. So Abbey Leaks really provides a model for Omris Peatlands Park, and also Loch Bura also provides a model. So Tourism Development International have listed some of the economic and social impacts of the Omris Peatlands Park, including the direct job creation in constructing and managing the Peatlands Park, indirect employment in Monasterevin and Rathangan, because the extra visitors would support shops, restaurants, cafes, bike hire, kayak hire, horse riding, all of those other initiatives, including accommodation in bed and breakfasts, new hotels, glamping, Airbnbs, all great opportunities for local people to benefit from the additional visitors that would come there. There would also be the enhanced appeal of West Kildare as a destination for visitors and a location for the resident population. So just to say that the funding landscape is very positive for this project. The phased approach allows for growth, and it could be linked to funding availability from the Just Transition Fund, from Fáilte Ireland, LEADER, Rural Regeneration Funds, etc. There could be operational funds linked to employment schemes, funding for training and mentoring, and of course, we would really welcome volunteering from the communities of Monasterevin and Rathangan to help us to run the park. As I said, no one will be making any money out of the project. It'll be a community project, a not-for-profit project. And we've already had lots of offers from people who would like to come out and run help us run a community cafe, help run guided nature walks around the bog, and make sure that the place is kept safe and tidy. So Tourism Development International's overall conclusion is that there is the evidence, conditions, and opportunity to create a successful and sustainable project at Omris Peatlands Park. The key factors are proximity to the Barrow Blueway and the Church of Oak Distillery, which is a major distillery which is being developed just outside Monasterevin town, which Bono is meant to have invested in. And that Church of Oak Distillery is hoping to attract 50,000 visitors a year, which is just 2 kilometres from Omris Peatlands Park. So really there's going to be a lot of tourists coming into the area. The post-COVID-19 desire for outdoor experiences, open spaces, nature and the environment really enhances a project like Omris Peatlands Park. There's an increase in demand for places for people to walk and cycle, with national planning support to tourist activities. And huge money in the National Development Plan for cycleways and walkways of this type. The demographics in the Greater Dublin area, in Monasterevin and Rathangan, people are looking for more places to walk. And the advantage of Omris Peatlands Park is that it's very close to Dublin. It's part of the Greater Dublin Cycle Network, so we can really tap into that market. And there's also great support for Just Transition and Peatlands initiatives nationally, and strong stakeholder support and a strategic approach to the project. So thank you for watching this video. You can get more information from our Facebook page. I will also put the link to the longer presentation in the comments below this video. And if you want to contact us and give us feedback, and please do, you can contact us at umerascomdev, umerascomdev @gmail.com. I look forward to meeting you out on the bog when we get this project going, and we can go for a walk and have a coffee. So thanks very much for watching this video, and follow our Facebook page for more updates on the project. Thank you very much.